Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is where you are. Hello, and welcome to my channel. I am Bliss Alexandria, Master Abundant Life Coach. And today, what I really want to discuss is the idea of having options, and how ultimately we actually don't have options. You just think you do, but ultimately we don't. And here's why you don't. I'll start with why you don't. Because you will always be you, with your own likes, dislikes, desires, all of the above. Everyone has their own preferences, things that they're looking for, and that is just static and common, just in people in general. Now, where that myth kind of comes from, this is a new thing, okay? Here in 2023, you can hop on Match, OkCupid, Facebook, Bumble. I'm pretty sure I'm leaving Tinder, leaving a lot out here. But essentially, now that we are in a digital age in which becoming connected or being connected is easier than ever before, it makes us feel as though we're able to just go out here and have pretty much have at it with a greater pool of people. Now, of course, that is true. We do have access to more people, but again, you will always be you. And you're only going to choose the person that you click with, find attractive, just really, really, get and understand one another. Those are the people who are going to ultimately get together no matter what. And so this is what the idea of having a lot of options does to society in general. And this isn't just for me. This is something that's being studied as we speak. How the idea of having options is kind of doing some things out here in in the population, right? So what essentially happens is, again, because you're dealing with large swaths of people, but you're only going to want a small percentage of those people, if at all. What this essentially does is it's made people much more rude in the dating process. We have a lot more ghosting. We have a lot more people who are trying to cram in as many dates as possible. If that's something that they do a lot, is date, because actually most people don't actually date that much, turns out. But what it's done is it's made us less personable as a population, which is starting to have really dire effects and consequences. Why? Because humans, we naturally like connectedness. We are a species who likes to just be in communion with one another. We like to be around one another. We like to interact with one another. We love our families. We love just being connected in general. But unfortunately, how people are kind of navigating social media at this time means that they're actually breaking these connections, okay? Or just not handling them in a very nice way. Let's say that. Right? So what it's essentially doing, because people think they have options, they're kind of running through people. Problem is, they're not taking the time to truly know and understand people. You just immediately see something that you think you don't like and you swipe. You're not, especially, this is why I say a lot too, that it's important that you really know yourself, know your needs, understand your needs, so you're better able to fulfill your needs. But how can you fulfill your needs if you don't know them and you're not willing to just kind of slow down and see if this person is truly able to fulfill them? Instead, you're just kind of looking and swiping. I think most people who's used dating apps is probably guilty of doing this. You see someone's like, no, just kind of flipping through. and we don't really take the time to say, oh, this is a person, this is a potential connection here, versus, oh, this is just height and eye color and income limit. This is just this list of attributes versus an actual person, right? And so what I want for you is to, well, first and foremost, this is for women watching, not necessarily for guys. Guys, I'll do something later, because you're watching going, oh yes, I have options. Yeah, for sex maybe, but I won't get into all of that. And even then, the majority of men you're not even getting it in all like that. So don't even try that over here. But anyway, women, what I want you to do first and foremost is truly develop your personhood, who you are, your womanhood. I really want you to become secure in that. I want you to really get a grasp of what it means to be a fully functioning adult. I know for a lot of you, you have not had someone sit down and really teach and show you what it's like to be you. Okay, and I'm coming out with a course too that really will help with that. But you haven't had a chance to really sit down and just analyze yourself. And this does several things. One, like I said, it really helps you narrow down your needs so you're better able to fulfill those needs. And then further, once you know what your needs are, then you're able to go out and seek a partner that really, that you really connect with. And that is the most important thing. Not necessarily the partner, but knowing who you need to choose. It's weird the way, human development goes, and mixed with just how our society works. It really does give us a disservice in that we get of age, and what happens is, you are, you feel ready for a relationship, you want to connect, especially for women. We're being told that we should connect, that we should become wives. Problem is, there is a knowledge and experience deficit when you're, I don't know, let's pick an age, 25. And ironically too, because a lot of I won't get into what other people say. But anyway, there is definitely a deficit in just life experiences and knowing how to know who you are when you're those ages. The same age where you are really feeling like you should be connecting and getting into relationships and marrying someone. But at the same time, if you don't know your needs, how are you able to do that? And that is where we kind of get ourselves really effed up. So we jump into these situations, and we don't really realize what we're doing. A trend that I'm noticing, as someone who has not been married, been close, but have not been married, are all of my friends now who did get married early, pretty young, pretty early, and they are now, many of whom are now divorcing, or are separated, or otherwise just not doing, their relationships are not happy ones. And a lot of this is because, and this is just from actual conversation with them. And I do admit too, it's anecdotal, but it is also an experience that I've found with quite a bit of women, because I do get a chance to talk to a lot of women. But anyway, a lot of it boils down to not truly experiencing life enough by a certain age. They still didn't know what they didn't know at that age that they ended up getting married. And getting married is a very, very, I won't say permanent thing, obviously, because there is divorce, but it's not something most people get into lightly, and it's pretty difficult to get out of unscathed. Even if you manage to do it amicably, it may still drain your bank account, and vice versa, or all of the above. It's a very difficult and painful situation to be in. And a lot of this, again, is because we're just kind of given a Disney-esque kind of, the Notebook kind of idea of what love and relationships and marriage looks like, but we're not really given the kind of handbook of life that we need, women. We're not given the handbook of life to really navigate all these things that we're being told are a great idea. And I don't know about you, but that's what really had me very, very frustrated about singles ministries when I was still in the church, because we were told marriage was difficult, and rightfully so, it is. But when it came to expounding on what that actually entailed and what that meant, we weren't given an explanation, but instead we were kind of heckled for desiring marriage. And I remember this vividly because of how frustrated it made me, because they say, oh, you want to be married, you don't understand how hard it is, da 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 da. But also they were kind of parading around like this was the pinnacle of existence, right? Like, and obviously something's going on here. Like, I remember one couple, it was very obvious that something was something was awry within their marriage. It turns out they were actually separated at the time, which I really wish they would have told us what was going on, because that is something I think that people need to see. We don't always need to see the rainbows and sunshine. But I do realize too that that's a very difficult thing to do in front of other people. But the reason why it upset me so was because they volunteered to be these guides for those seeking marriage and singles and everything, but they weren't willing to be transparent. That's where they kind of got me a little effed up. Like, okay, if you're not really willing to show us the nitty gritty, should you really be up there? But again, I won't get into all that. That's kind of, I can feel myself going on a little bit of a tangent. But anyway, we're talking about you. And so, like I said, I really want you to take time to know yourself, develop your personhood, your womanhood. I really want you to just take time to yourself to really understand your purpose, to really kind of just say, okay, this is my life and this is where it's going. This is my past and how I'm navigating that, what I'm going to do for the future. These are very important decisions that you're making. Don't hop into something just because you heard some podcasters say, your eggs are drying up and you're getting old, or women are best attractive at a certain age. Whatever. Like I said, and I've said this before, men are very, very great at getting their desires or needs, their desires met. Women, we actually tend to be better at getting everyone else's met. And that's all what that really boils down to, is them just trying to make sure that their pool of eligible women still exists. But here's the thing, you are your own individual and you really need to do what's best for you, okay? And like I said, the idea of having options is a myth, because you are you, and at the end of the day, you are going to have to choose who is really your person. And the only way to do that and get away from all this noise is to know you. All right? That is the best way to do it. So thank you so much for listening. I have links down below. I have my consultation link if you want to have a one-on-one coaching session with me. My Instagram handle is I am Bliss Alexandria. And then I also have my Linktree down there. And please, please, please sign up for emails. I have some courses that are coming down the hatch soon. I have a pre-dating course that is coming in June. Very excited about that. June of 2023, in case you're watching this in 5 years, is when that came out. Then I have another one too, which is called Winning Womanhood. And that is pretty much, that entails a lot of what I was saying here as well. And is essentially the course that I designed to essentially teach women how to adult. It's your guide to womanhood. It's a lot of it is things that you didn't necessarily hear from other women in your life. A lot of times because they didn't realize that themselves. We're at a time, especially in your 20s and 30s, you're in a time period in which you are kind of reparenting yourself. You're really trying to navigate life and kind of get really trying to get some understanding about who you are and your upbringing and how you can really navigate a path forward from everything that you've experienced. So that is what the Winning Womanhood course is all about. And so that will be released also in the summer of 2023. So if you're watching and it's like in 2032 or something, that course already exists. So please go to my links below, go to my website to find that course. And so thank you so much for watching today. Love you all. Again, hope you have a great morning. Hope you have a great afternoon, great evening. Thank you so much for watching. And have a really great day. Some little extra tidbits I am very excited about. I'm kind of building a set behind myself. So I'm very excited about that. That's why I've been vertical. I was horizontal one time, but I'm kind of doing what I do back here. So I'm very excited about that. And I'm doing some other things too that I'm very excited about. So we will be horizontal soon. You get to see more. Okay. Not trying to hide. So, but anyway, thank you so much for watching. I love you all.